The law of sines. In all equations, the capital letters a, b, and c equal the angles, and lowercase a, b, and c equal the sides. The equation is sine of a over lowercase a equals sine of b over lowercase b equals the sine of c over lowercase c. This equation is applied to SAA, side angle angle. This is when two angles and one side that is not included between them are given. It can also be applied to ASA, also known as angle side angle. This is when two angles and the side length between them are given. It can also be applied to SSA, side side angle. This is when two sides and the angle not between them are given. For SAA, an example is given. The angle A equals 40, the angle B equals 20, and side A equals 2. Step 1 of this problem is to set up the proportion. In this case, only sine A over A equals sine B over B will be used. The second step is to plug in for the known variables. In this case, 40 will be plugged in for angle A, 2 will be plugged in for side A, 20 will be plugged in for angle B, and side B is unknown. The third step is to cross multiply to find the unknown variable, side B. On the board, it can be seen how to cross multiply. The equation after cross multiplying is b times the sine of 40 equals 2 times the sine of 20. Next, you must isolate the variable to solve for it. The equation after isolating b is 2 times the sine of 20 over sine of 40. As seen on the board, the sine of 20 equals 0.34 and the sine of 40 equals 0.64. You will plug those numbers into where it says the sine of 20 and the sine of 40. Due to the fact that the numerator is multiplied by 2, the equation then is b equals 0.68 over 0.64. The answer for b is 1.06. For ASA, an example is given. Angle A equals 35, angle B equals 15, and side C equals 5. Angle C must be found in order to find side B. All angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C equal 180 degrees. After adding the angles given, 35 plus 15 equals 50. 180 minus 50 equals 130, meaning that angle C equals 130 degrees. The first step is to set up the proportion. Sine of angle B over side B equals sine of angle C over side C. Then you plug in the known variables. 15 is plugged in for angle B, 130 is plugged in for angle C, and 5 is plugged in for side C, leaving side B the unknown. And then you cross multiply to find side B. After cross multiplying, you isolate side B by dividing by the sine of 130. The new equation is lowercase b equals 5 times the sine of 15 over the sine of 130. You then solve for the sine of 15 and the sine of 130. The sine of 15 is 0.26 and the sine of 130 is 0.77. You multiply 5 times 0.26 and the new equation is side b equals 1.3 divided by 0.77, leaving b to equal 1.69. For SSA, you must note that once the missing number is found, you use the inverse of the sign of that number to find the actual angle. If the number before finding the inverse is more than 1 or less than -1, there is no solution. Once the angle is found, subtract it from 180 degrees. There is a possibility of two triangles. Add each new angle to the given angle separately. If both sums are less than 180 degrees, there are two triangles. If only one of the sums is less than 180 degrees, there is only one triangle, which is the one that didn't add up to 180. In the example, angle A equals 35, side A equals 6, and side B equals 8. You set up the proportion, and it's sine of angle A over side A equals the sine of angle B over side B, and you plug in the known numbers. Then you cross multiply to find angle B. The new equation is 8 times the sine of 35 equals 6 times the sine of B. To isolate sine of B, you divide by 6 and then divide by 6 on the other side. The equation is then sine of B equals 8 times sine of 35 divided by 6. The sine of 35 is 0.57. Then you multiply 0.57 times 8 and divide it by 6. The sine of B equals 0.76. The next step is to find the inverse of 0.76. On the calculator, you will find the inverse of this number, which equals 49.46 degrees. You add this number to the given angle, which was 35 degrees. The sum is 84.46, which is less than 180 degrees. Next, you subtract 49.46 from 180 degrees, which gives you 130.54 degrees. Then you add 130.54 degrees plus the given angle, 35. This total is 165.54 degrees, which is also less than 180. Due to the fact that both the sums were less than 180 degrees, there are two triangles